Yo, what up guys? Today I wanted to do this. Now, we've listed bosses on a tier list before. We've done it. We've done it for difficulty. I've never done it for fun. Man, why do we always forget about fun in this game? So, in this one, we're going to go through the bosses that I think are the most fun. Now, let me just start this by saying that I think are the most fun. This is going to be very different from a lot of people. These are the things that I like the most enjoyment wise, and you guys are going to see whether you agree or not. You don't have to spam dislike just because you don't agree. These videos, to be fair, are always quite interesting because they do always get like quite a lot of dislikes because people disagree, which is fine. If the video gets dislikes, it gets dislikes. As long as you enjoy the video overall, for most people, then it's fine. But we're gonna go through this. Now I have some bosses down here. You can see it says hard, and some of the 100% and stuff. Others I don't actually have that. For example, the Arc Glaze, so I've only got it for one because they're pretty much the same boss in normal mode as they are in hard mode, except for the difficulty. Whereas Karapak has a hard mode option because Karapak is very different in hard mode than he is in normal mode. There's a lot of difference, right? In the last phase, so got that there. Anyway, let's get started with this and go from there. Also, the background footage is just PVM footage. A lot of people will say like, why don't you get footage from each of the bosses and use that as background? Bro, have you seen how many bosses there are here? This is crazy. It would take way too long. And also, I can't do Verago very well. And I also like, you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be some bosses that it's gonna be really difficult to go the thing. So either way, background footage is just for your sort of eyes, I guess. So starting off, we have this one, which is the Abomination. Not really a boss. Not fun either, because you just go in, you blow it up. Yeah, it's fine. And the next one is Araxi. Now, a lot of people absolutely hate Araxi. I don't like Araxi, but at the same time, I think this boss is good, and I did used to like it a lot. So I am going to put it on a C. Now, this may change later. The reason being is I don't really have, as of yet, until we get a bit further in, like a structure for what's like S tier. So we've got S, A, B, C, D, E, F, right? And I don't really have a structure for like what's gonna be S tier or what's gonna be A tier. So this may move down, it may move up. I'm not too sure yet. So we'll leave him in a C. The reason being is when I started doing Araxi, I thought it was the best thing ever, man. Like, it was my first real boss outside of like first real solo boss, I suppose. I'd done Kalphite King before, which we'll get to when we get to Kalphite King, but Araxi was like, I loved it. I thought it was the best thing ever. So I'm gonna leave it at C, because while it does have its issues these days with like the blowing yourself from the web and stuff, I think that comes more from power creep than it does from whether the boss is good or not. So yeah, the next one we have here, I believe, is the Barrows brothers. Barrows, you know what? I don't think Barrows is like a complete F. I think it's kind of cool. I think the idea behind them is really, really cool in the sense of like you go through the maze. You got the more interactions. There's more mechanics to it than just go in a room and kill a boss. That you've got to dig into the graves, kill those, and then go through the next bit. The design's cool. Enjoyment wise though, I don't think it's the most exciting thing there is. Maybe just because it's super old. Back in the day, it was probably really, really fun. I did it like a little bit back in the day, but not enough really to say like, oh, this was amazing for me. So we're gonna leave them on a knee. Again, as we add more stuff, these may shuffle, but around here is where it's gonna be. Next up is Beastmaster from the raids. Beastmaster from raids, when you're not blowing them up immediately, so like when the point we are now in game, we sort of outscale a lot of stuff. Unless it's new content, we just blow it away, right? And it kind of affects the enjoyment of it. What I'm going to try and do is focus on this is like in their own times, like when they first come out, how did they sort of feel? I didn't really do Beastmaster when it first came out though, so my experience with it isn't necessarily that good. However, I'm going to leave it around the C because, in fact, I'd say more than Araxi, because to me, when you are doing this in a group where it's not like you're just blowing it up and you got to deal with mechanics, you got to have the tank, you got to have the pets organized. I quite enjoy the challenge of having many things going on at once and having people have their own roles. To me, that's like a massive part of an MMO and PVM in an MMO as well, is having certain roles for certain things, and I like that a lot. While I've not had to experience it too much, whenever there's a struggle team, I enjoy it, bro. I could die at a boss that we should be dying at for an hour straight because people are learning, and I get more enjoyment out of that than if I went in and just killed it first try. Like, I don't know. But next up is the Chaos Elemental. Screw this boss, hate it, piece of crap, teleports you around the room, teleports you away, takes your room in the wilderness. It takes your items off of you. I freaking hate it, bro. The design's cool, but enjoyment-wise, not all that enjoyable, really. Let's be fair. The next one is Ziliana. Now, I actually think that all of God Wars Dungeon 1 bosses are probably going to come into the same sort of area, maybe on a D for now. I was thinking E, but I don't think they're Barrow brothers. You know what? I don't actually, because they don't have mechanics, right? I actually think maybe we go like this. And again, you guys are going to be like, what? No, you can't say that God Wars 1 is worse than This is just an opinion. So I'm thinking God Wars 1 bosses. Where's the other ones at? Can we see any of them yet? We probably can. There we go. Kriara again. Here. Krill. You know what? Krill's not. This. We'll put it here. Bandos. Put this here. I don't think that any of these really have any mechanics that or any enjoyment to them other than stand in the corner and kill them. And while we do that AFK now, back in the day, they were probably a lot more fun because we didn't have actual abilities and stuff like that. We just went in the room and click on them, but you go in the group and they would hurt. Back in the day, enjoyment of them was really high, but we're talking about today, right? So I think that these are probably here. There's just no mechanics to them. They're just DPS dummies. Krill, I kind of think is up a little bit higher, just because of the way his prayer things work, and you just pay a little more attention to his big massive hit. You gotta use defensives maybe a little bit more, so enjoyment's a little bit higher. But I guess for a lot of people that might be less, because you guys might be like, Krill's worse because I can't AFK it. Again, it's just an opinion. Corporal Beast. Now, Corporal Beast for me was one of those bosses that I absolutely adored back in the day, and this I think is where we're going to sort of now get our structure with this, because I think Corp isn't as good as Araxi enjoyment wise, but I do think he's pretty good. I don't think he's on par with Barrows though, the original Barrows, and I don't think he's on par with this. I think he's a bit higher, so we're going to move these up and put him here. Are we now going to end up with some stupidly high? Do we need to bring these down to F maybe? Maybe we need to do this actually and do it like this, right? So the Barrow brothers are higher, but Krill is also higher than these, but they're all in the E still, whereas Corp can come down, and yeah, that's better. I think that's better. We'll do it like the lower down in the E you are, the lower it is again as well. So it's still E, but it's like a high E. All right, Corporal Beast I'd say would be a D, because he is cool, and the mechanics that you have when he went for the time that he came out was pretty cool, pretty good, and the core and stuff like that. And overall, Corporal Beasts are it's an enjoyable fight. It is. You got to use spears and stuff like that. You can't just go in with regular stuff. You can't just AFK. You got to move. You got to pray the right things. All that sort of stuff. Next up, we have these guys. These are the Daggonoth Kings. I think Daggonoth Kings are probably on par with a little bit less than the Corporal Beast. Better than these because again, you gotta change your combat style, and the design of it's really cool. But once you're in there, you know what? Actually, no, I think they're a high E, because once you're in there, you don't really. You just change your combat style and hidden them, and you can also safe zone each bit, so you can only kill one of them, right? So you can AFK if you wanted to. There's nothing really special about them. But yeah, we're gonna leave Daggonoth Kings there. Next is Seiryu. I freaking love me some Seiryu. Now, maybe A is going to be too high. We'll come to it. But when it says Seiryu here, we've got all of ED1, and then the Black Sword Dragon is going to be all of ED2, and then the Ambassador is going to be all of ED3. So we're going to look at this, okay? So for Seiryu, ED1, I think ED1 is by far the most enjoyable dungeon to do, personally, as a lot of you guys will know, because I've done a crap ton of ED1. But Masuta kind of... Masuta, bro, kind of letting the team down a little bit. We are going to leave him in A because obviously I really enjoy this boss a ton. So we're not going to bring him down a little bit yet. We may do. But I also think that elite dungeons are by far the most fun content because you're running through the dungeon and you're like, oh, but it's the same thing every time. It's not the same as going in and killing Bandos or Grador even. It's not the same as going in and killing Hellweir. We'll pull Hellweir out of it all of a sudden. We're going to put Hellweir, I think, D. You know what? I think we're gonna put Hellware in a D. Maybe or C, low C. Nah, because Hellware doesn't compare with Araxi at all. So we're gonna leave him here, which maybe now makes you think that we're gonna leave Corporal Beast. But the thing is with Hellware, you go in, you kill the boss, you respawn, you kill the boss, you respawn, you kill the boss. It's kind of, you know, it's a bit crap. With dungeons, I like the progress through it, and that's why I think I'm going to enjoy the new boss so much, because we're going to progress through each of the bosses and it's going to feel different. I like that a lot. I don't like the whole go in, kill the boss for like a minute and then repeat. It's something that kind of gets old for me really quick. So personally, I think elite dungeons are going to be pretty high, and order of elite dungeons, I'm going to put the Blackstone Dragon and ED2 in a B, because I just don't, it's just not for me really. Again, elite dungeons are really good, I enjoy them a lot, but ED2 personally I don't really like, but ED3 I like a lot as well. And while they've lost their value these days, they're not as worthwhile running through, spending the time on. I do think that they are still really fun, especially like in their prime and stuff. Like these things, these were amazing. These are like the highlights of PVM for me. I adored elite dungeons when I was learning PVM. I thought they were the best thing ever. So next up is Jad, but I think this is more the fight caves in a whole. Man, I mean, the fight caves are definitely better than like God Wars 1 bosses, because you're just AFK. So we'll put them here because it has the whole the competition side to it, like not competition, but like the challenge. I guess this is like a challenger thing, isn't it, where you go through the waves. So I'm gonna put it here because I like that. But it's boring as crap. It's not fun, it's not enjoyable. So then we have this one, which is the Fight Kiln. Again, I'm just going to put it slightly above the Fight Caves. Fight Kiln's more enjoyable, I'd say, because it's got more of a challenge to it, so that's good. But you still don't really have to pay much attention now these days, and you haven't for a long while. Back in its prime, I probably would have put it, actually probably do I like it more than Hellware? Would I rather do Fight Kiln over Hellware? Probably not. Would I rather do it over Corp? Probably. To be fair, I probably would, actually, because while Corp was like super fun back in the day, I do think that I would probably now rather do the Fight Kiln, because it still makes you focus for the full time. So that yeah, giant mole can piss off down here. No one wants to talk about the giant mole, let's be honest. A lot of you guys are going to be like, whoa, no, what, giant? No. Okay. Greg from God Wars Dungeon 2. He's probably going to be here just above Fight Kiln, Hellware, God Wars 2, that sort of stuff. And the Kalphite King. One that you guys are going to be like, no way, what? This is going to be the one that gets me the dislikes. This is going to be the one that gets me. No, I'm kidding. It's not an S tier. But it is going to be a C tier with Araxi. A lot of people absolutely despise this boss. They hate it. They think it's the worst design ever. It's got the heals. It's got the green thing. It's got so many annoying. They hate it. I love it. And I think a lot of it comes from like nostalgia, maybe, because this was my first boss when I returned from taking a break after EOC. EOC came out, I took a break, came back. This was my first boss. Like I think I did some God Wars Dungeon, maybe like God Wars Dungeon 1. And then I came back and did this with a group, and I was like, holy shit, we have to have a tank. We have to have someone who does provoke. We have to have someone who's clearing off all the minions as soon as they spawn. There's actually mechanics. This is amazing. We got to change our prayers. Like, it felt so good to me. And since then, it's not really lost its thing. I like it a lot. I think the Kalphite King is a super well-designed boss, and I wish that they would scale it into existence to the point where they would maybe make him a hard mode. Maybe. Do something like that. I would absolutely love that. I think it'd be such a cool idea. The design of him, I like it tons. I think it's a really cool group boss, but right now he's just so squishy and so quick to kill that it just doesn't, like, it's not worth doing, right? And you're not going to group him anymore. You're going to duo maybe, but you're not going to go in a 4-man anymore because he's too easy. You blow him up. But he's also super clunky because he's old. I think if Jagex went through and like polished a lot of the bosses, like Araxi, for example, as well, and Kalphite King, they would probably feel a lot better because the clunkiness would go. I hope that we get some sort of like Kalphite King-ish boss in the future. That'll be super fun. I love this boss. A lot of people are going to disagree. I like it a lot. Next up, we have the Kalphite Queen. Kalphite Queen's kind of cool. And not enjoyment-wise, would I rather do... I think we put it here. Low E. Like, very low E. Like, if I could put it here, I will. And I think King Black Dragon's going to come also, like, here. You know? King Black Dragon's probably like almost here as well, but these two are low E's. I can't say that you compare Kalphite King and the Kalphite Queen with these bosses, you know. King Black Dragon's always going to have a pretty cool spot for me. I used to AFK this all day, every day after school with my friend. Like we'd get home from school, we'd get our rune crossbows out and our ruby bolts E, and we'd just got King Black Dragon all day, all night. That was it. Well, not all day because we're at school, but you know what I mean. So he's still there for sure. Legions. I like the idea behind Legions again. I don't think... Would I rather do Legions? You know what? I would rather do Legions than God Wars 2. Personally. They're not worth doing. Unless this has changed, Legions still aren't worth doing, right? Let me know if this has changed. If it has, value-wise, I don't think they're worth doing. But that's not the point. This is for enjoyment, right? So, I'm going to leave them here, because I would rather do Kalphite King and Araxi any day. Legions... They're not terrible. They're not terrible. Then we have Nex. Now the glowy Nex is AOD. We have regular Nex here. So regular Nex, I freaking love regular Nex, but I also love elite dungeons. So I think I'm gonna put regular Nex here. This is like, let's say solo Nex, right? Solo Nex in like regular normal Nex. Such a cool design boss. I've done like I want to say 3,500, maybe 4,000 kills. A lot of kills. I've done a lot of kills with Nex. So clearly I enjoy the boss a lot. And even though it's not overly worth doing anymore, I still would go every now and again for like, you know, a few kills here and there. I like Nex. I think the design of it is incredible. I think it's obviously been outlived a little bit now, but overall Nex is such a freaking cool, enjoyable boss for me. AOD. I would say AOD I enjoy more than the Blackstone Dragon, personally. A lot of you guys are going to have AOD as an S tier boss for enjoyment. I have it here, probably. I would rather do ED3. Would I rather do ED3? Huh. Init, do you want to come to ED3? Init, do you want to come to AOD? ED3, AOD. You know what, I'm going to put him here. I think AOD is really cool, actually. I usually only do this in masses, so maybe that's why I'm like sort of leaning towards not so much. But in a group, like a smaller group, 7 or less or whatever, I'd probably super enjoy this, thinking about it now. And yeah, actually, I really should start getting into this. I've not done like lower groups of AOD before, really. Like I've done 7-mans, I've not done 4s. I've not tried like duos or anything like that. Whether I could even pull that off or not, I don't know. But even if I didn't, it could be super fun. Like I said, I'm happy to die at a boss over and over and over and over again. That's more enjoyment for me, as long as there's like a chance. If there's a chance of getting the kill, I'd be down for it for sure. Queen Black Dragon, I've done a lot of this as well. I'd rather do I'd rather do Kalphite King. I'd rather do any God Wars 2 boss, probably. So we'll put QBD here. QBD is fun. The design of QBD is really good. I like it a lot. The firewalls and stuff. And another boss when I first come back, I grinded the living crap out of QBD to make money. I thought it was hella fun, but because it did get a little bit old. It did get a little bit old. Magister. This isn't Magister. This is Rise of the Six. I hate Rise of the Six, but would I rather do it instead of Hellweir? Absolutely. Would rather do it instead of the Legions? Absolutely. Rise of the Six, I would rather. I've only got a few kills. I know how a fight goes though. I would rather do this instead of these. I would rather do the Kalphite King though. I'd rather do Araxi for sure. So he's not going up there. Solak. Absolutely A tier. I'm even gonna put Solak in front of ED3 for me. Like I think Solak, the design of Solak is freaking it's so good. It's so good. This fight just feels so, it's so fast paced in my opinion, that like it's just never a boring moment in Solak. It just feels good all the time. So it's up there. Telos. This is, we only got one Telos, haven't we? So we're just gonna assume Telos is like any enrage, just Telos as a whole. I like Telos more than ED1. I think Telos is great. We may bump some of these up to S tier eventually. I think S tier is going to have to be like, I'm going to like, oh shit. I think I'm going to get to the end and think like, okay, what deserves S tier? Maybe. Telos though, love this boss. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I hate the boss. He hates me. But I suck at the boss. That's why I hate it. But I love it because the boss is designed so well. It's so fun. And I could probably do it all day, to be honest. Magister. Couldn't care less, personally. Would I rather do him than God Wars Dungeon 2? Probably not. QBD? Probably not. I'd rather do Magister than the Fight Kill, no, I would say. Twin Furies. It's God Wars 2 boss. I'm just going to pop him here. Which God Wars 2 boss would I rather do? I think the order of God Wars 2, I would have Hellway first as the best. Then Vindictor. Then Twin Furies? Maybe, because I like dodging the little jumpy bit. And then Greg, because everyone hates Greg, right? Everyone hates Greg. Freaking Greg, man. Verago. Again, super fun boss. I don't do Verago because I'm bad at Verago. But I have duoed Verago. And it was some of the most fun I've had in the game. In terms of PVM. I only did like 10 kills. Maybe 12. And like 5 deaths, maybe 4 deaths, something like that. So, we're going to put Verago here. I would rather go and duo Verago again with that specific person that I went with than do ED3. Absolutely. But Solak's still good. Still good. Yakamaru is definitely up here. Yesterday, we went to Yakamaru as on stream, actually. We didn't get the kill, unfortunately. It was a learner group. It's fine. This was fun. This was hella fun. I had a blast doing this. And again, dying over and over again does not bother me. Wiping as a team does not bother me. I enjoy it a lot more. I get enjoyment from watching people like figure stuff out and learn stuff. I don't know the fight very well as well. So personally, I find the enjoyment of this super fun because I'm like picking up on stuff. Like as I'm doing each kill and going back in, I'm picking up on new things. So that's fun to me. Rex Matriarchs, including Osseous. I think Rex Matriarchs probably not as good as God Wars 2. But Osseous probably better. I would put Osseous specifically better than God Wars 2. But I would put Rex Matriarchs. You know what? No, I'd actually rather do Rex Matriarchs than God Wars 2. I'd also rather do them instead of Legion and Magister. So no, actually, surprisingly for me, I think I will put Osseous here. Yeah, I think so. I'd rather do Rex Matriarchs. Yeah, definitely. Hermod. Hermod's, it's not bad. I don't think he deserves to be any higher than this though. He's super easy to kill. Designed well, but he's not fun, is he? Like no one's going to Hermod for fun. Raziel though, I quite enjoy a good bit of Raziel. I'll put Raziel in a B. He's nothing overly exciting about him fun-wise, in terms of like mechanically heavier. You're just DPSing him. However, I really enjoy Raziel, and whenever I'm not on stream, I tend to do Raziel because of the fact that it's short bursts of like how often you're going to get a drop, and also you can die still. It's still a bit of a challenge. You got to pay attention still. You got to watch your rotation. I'm practicing figuring out like all these different rotations. Is this going to work? If I use Bloat at the beginning, or if I use Omniguard Spec at the beginning, or maybe I do it in the middle of the fight. I'm enjoying this a lot for now, so we'll leave him there. Croesus. I don't enjoy Croesus in the slightest, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I'd put him here. Like I'd rather do Hermod than Croesus personally. I really would. Arc Glacier, I'm gonna put up here. I would rather actually. Enjoyment wise, do I enjoy the Arc Glacier more than Araxi? No. More than Kalphite King? Sure, probably. I would say so. Hard mode Vorkath. Did I do normal? I did. Hard mode Vorkath and normal mode Vorkath are pretty much the same fight. I don't know why I did both of these. Didn't mean to. So we'll just do Vorkath. We'll just say this is Vorkath here. I think Vorkath is actually really fun boss to do. And a lot of people are going to think I'm an absolute psychopath for this because everybody hates Vorkath. I think it's stupid. I think it's telegraphed terribly, which it is. But I like a challenge. And I like getting just like sent to this office, and I like having to figure stuff out. So Vorkath in both normal and hard mode are going to be here. Again, the fight in normal and hard mode is pretty much the same in terms of what mechanics there is, I think. I don't think there's any changes, so it's just he hits you harder, he has more health in hard mode. I like it a ton. The next one is Zook. Zook. Whatever it is, Zook the next. Yeah. He got ED2? No. I like the design of Zook. It kind of feels like Elite Dungeon in the sense of like I'm not just killing a boss and repeating every 3 minutes. So that's good. That ticks a few boxes for me. But there's something about him. I don't know what it is. There's something about Zook. Don't enjoy it. And again, hard mode and normal mode, I've just left it here because for me it's the same. It doesn't matter. Nothing really makes me think I'm going to go do Zook, but I'd rather do Zook than next normal mode for sure. These days. Next up we have normal mode Zamorak. I'm going to do first. Normal mode Zamorak, I don't think is that fun, actually. Normal mode Zamorak, I'm going to put like, I don't know, let's put even lower than Zook. Lower than next. Lower than next? Nah. Okay, so I'd rather do Zook than normal mode Zamorak because you just skip everything. There's nothing, he doesn't do anything. Normal mode Zamorak is walk on the pads, hit the boss, done. He doesn't do mechanics, for me at least, and most people. So there's nothing fun there. The room looks good, it looks nice, but that's like the best thing about it. 100% Zamorak plus. We'll just do 100% plus on this. This is what it is. I think Zamorak's great. I think Zamorak himself, once you get to the last phase and yes, you start dealing with mechanics, I think Zamorak is hella fun. More than ED1, I want to go with more than Telos. I don't know about more than Telos. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think maybe is S tier. Oh, maybe it's S tier. You know, we're gonna go here because I know what's coming up. Hellware hard mode. Right, Hellware hard mode is the only God Wars 2 boss that got a hard mode thing mentioned because it is hella different, and I think it's super fun. Honestly, I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to do it again, probably, but Hellware hard mode is fun. We'll put them on the low C. Karapak hard mode for me is S tier. For those of you that don't know, and I know you're going to, what? Karapak hard mode S tier, what? Personally, I think Karapak is the best designed boss in the game. I don't know why. Not design, maybe not the best designed. Sorry, of course not. Zamorak maybe is the best designed boss in the game. Most fun boss. I love this boss in a solo. I don't know. I think it's the fast pace of using the time warp and you play the fight differently. You constantly have your ultimates up pretty much, dealing with the walls if you get them, dealing with the last phase, having to use defensives and stuff and jump around the clones and do that in your own way as well. It just feels super fun to me. And of course I am insanely dry here on the log and the drops actually. Like it's ridiculous. My log here is trash, but I still go almost every day because I enjoyed the boss a hell of a lot. And if I didn't, I wouldn't go back because I just stack it off. I don't care. But I love this boss. I think it is so fun. I genuinely do. So it's an S tier for me. However, I do think Zamorak 100% plus needs to go there as well. Less than Karapak, but I think it all needs to go there too. Normal mode Karapak, I think is better than Nex. Better than Zook. Better than Zook? Nah. Better than Nex. I'd say it's better than Nex, but not better than normal Tammy. Then we have Raksha. I like Raksha a ton. I would rather do Raksha than Solak. An 83? Yeah. Than Solak? No. Than Verago. Would I? Yeah. I'll put Raksha here. Okay. That's which way? That way. That's my tier list. Do you disagree? I'm sure you do. This is a 30-minute video. I'm not going to drag it on much longer. Again, this is an opinion. So for those of you who skipped to the end, this is my opinion. This is where I would place them. I'm not going to move them around anymore. I think this is fine for me. And if you ever wonder why I do Karapak on stream a lot, it's because I love doing Karapak on stream. I love doing Karapak as a whole. But let me know what you guys think is yours. Tell me what your S tier bosses are. Yeah, tell me what your S tier bosses are in the comments and what you would have changed. I'm sure people are not going to agree with this at all. Catch you later, guys. Bye.